going to the party tonight. You want to come? It's not going to be bad. You don't even have to drink if you don't want to.
What should I do? What's up, guys? How you doing? I'm Paul.
I'm Morgan.
And this is the Paul and Morgan, the Paulandmorganshow Show. So today's video, part 3 in our Christians in College series. We're talking about partying, drinking. What's the big deal? Is it okay? What if it's the harmless, fun parties?
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to talk about. We want to dive into it.
Patron shout out of the week is Darian.
Grace in the skies.
We love you. You've been around for quite some time. He is an OG.
Thanks for sticking with us. Thank you for your support on Patreon. We really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day.
If you're new to this channel, though, make sure you subscribe and turn that notification bell on. We make Christian advice videos on life, love, and dating to help you have hope
And be free.
And we have the best hair.
So if you guys have watched part 1 and 2 of our Christian in College series, which I hope you have, but if not, we'll link them below, you'll know that with each video comes a little surprise. For this surprise, those of you who may just be stumbling upon our channel might think, whoa, these two have the sickest hair that I've ever seen YouTubers have. Well, this isn't our real hair. For your all's entertainment, we're going wigs today.
And honestly, guys, this week, prob's not gonna stay on me. It keeps sliding back on my head.
I mean, I got mixed feelings, but part of me is like, that looks so cool.
I feel like I look like a spy. Like,
she totally looks like a spy. I look like the guy from Stranger Things, the brother, older brother.
Oh.
So the reason we wanted to title this something like, what's the big deal? It's only partying, is because I think that is a lot of our attitudes going into it, or maybe we kind of allow that to be our attitude when initially it wasn't. It was like, I don't need to be going to these parties, not a lot of good stuff is happening. But then you get around friends who are like, come on, it's only a party. We don't have to get drunk there. We can stay away from like maybe the bad stuff that's happening. I think that can maybe become our mindset. And suddenly we're going and spending time at these parties, and like anything else, who you spend time with, where you're spending your time, it's gonna affect you. Am I saying that there are not potentially parties that actually are really wholesome? I think there are. I think there can be, and we'll get to those in a minute.
I would say if you are in college and you're thinking, okay, I'm gonna go party, what's the big deal? I'm strong. I'm going to say no to the alcohol. I'm going to say no to the pot. I'm going to say no to the dirty dancing.
Yeah, the dirty dancing, the guys or girls making advances. I'm going to make sure my eyes stay straight ahead and not looking at potentially the clothing that is very minimal.
Yeah.
At some of these parties, a lot of these parties is kind of a hookup culture.
I think it would be smarter for you all to wake up and realize that not all of these parties are safe, sweet, and innocent, and you're not as strong as you think. Okay? I do believe that there are plenty of strong, godly Christian college students out there that could go to a party and not be fazed at all by the alcohol, by the drugs, by the boys, by the girls, grinding up on one another, like whatever. I get that there are people out there that doesn't really faze them. They're there because their friends invited them. They have a fun time in their own corner, hanging out, whatever. Cool. So my question is, why do you even need to go to that party? If you and your friends can have fun together there, why wouldn't you be able to have fun at a coffee shop or at your all's dorm room or wherever, literally Walmart?
Interesting. I like what you're saying. I think when Morgan and I put a pretty heavy caution on anything, we like to do, but there's exceptions. And I think with this, there can be exceptions. I think the Lord could prompt your spirit to potentially go to a party looking to minister to the people there. And like Morgan's saying, I think there are certain people that just truly have like a ministry at these type of events. But I think that's the exception. And so if you feel like a strong call on your life to do stuff like that, like, we're saying there is that potential. So yeah, check your motives. Don't be naive. A lot of people are just naive with this stuff. And then slowly their moral compass starts sinking lower and lower until it's close to being online with just the world.
Guys, we're not saying partying is bad. We're not against having a good time. We're not even saying that having a drink is bad. If you're of age, first of all, because that's another thing, there is a lot of underage drinking going on that That's not okay. Like, I'm sorry, Christian or not, you should not be drinking underage. Wait until you're 21, okay? Just wait.
Yeah, and real quick, when it comes to the alcohol thing, do we feel like the Bible says no Christian should drink ever? No, we don't. We don't see that at all. But does it warn?
I can't.
Oh no! Oh no!
Continue.
But does the Bible warn about getting drunk? Yeah, it does. So don't be getting drunk, guys.
And does the Bible talk about how we should not be looking like the world? We can be in the world, but not of the world. And so if you're going to these parties, you're getting drunk, or you're even drinking like a little too much to where you're tipsy or whatever, you're partaking in all of these things that the world views as totally okay and acceptable. People are gonna look at you and think, oh, this girl, she knows how to do it. Oh, this guy, he likes to party, but he says he's a Christian. Okay, cool. I'm that kind of Christian too. I like to get drunk on the weekends and go to church on Sundays, whatever. Like, just be careful with how you are putting yourself out there in the world of college.
Yeah, our intentions for this video are not to be completely anti-partying, because when I was in college, I did go to some parties. There was one particular Christian organization that threw pretty big parties. I connected with people. I had a really good time. There was no drinking at those parties. There was dancing, but they were very purposeful about not letting it get ridiculous. Was there still some seductive dancing? Perhaps, and you guys can use your discernment, because a lot of things aren't completely black and white. Some things are, and some things are up to your discernment.
Like we talked about in the videos before about finding Christian organizations, Christian clubs at your school, whether it's a Christian college or not, they try to, be on top of things and make sure that they're doing fun things that the students are going to want to be a part of. And so they're going to throw parties, they're going to throw crazy water balloon fights. I, on the other hand, didn't go to college, but like I said before, I lived vicariously through a friend of mine, and we went to the parties where alcohol was present, there was dirty dancing, pot was being passed around.
So yeah, give us your thoughts on that then, because you were walking with the Lord, even if maybe your faith wasn't super strong.
One of the potential problems stepping into the party scene is that you are going to feel like you need to fit in. Not everyone. You might be really strong, and that's awesome. I get that there are exceptions, but for myself, I was walking with the Lord, but I also saw all these people. They were handing me drinks. They were pulling me to the dance floor. I, in my weird stage of life, was like, okay, I'll have a little to drink. Okay, I'll dance. Okay, I'll hang out with these guys that I've never met in my life.
I'm sure that they're good guys with good intentions.
My friend and I would find ourselves in awkward situations where it'd be like, okay, we do not want this. We need to get the heck out of here. And so we'd book it sometimes out of parties, or just sit and feel really awkward on the couch while everyone's up and about dancing, partying, making out with one another, and we're just like, I'm sorry, but there's nothing clean or holy or pure about these parties where there are drugs and alcohol and dirty dancing and making out and people going upstairs to have sex with people they just met. It's gross, okay?
Guys, we want to reiterate that we get there are kind of spectrums.
Right, I went to the crazy parties. Paul went to the clean parties.
Well, again, use your discretion. If you have a friend that maybe you're reaching out to, and they invite you, and you want to show up for a little while and say hey to them and say hey to some of your other friends and then leave.
It's okay to be weird. It's okay if someone invites you to the party and you're like, oh no, actually I'm gonna go to the coffee shop tonight and hang out with two of my other friends. And they're like, what? But it's Friday night.
That's so
come
boring.
on. It's okay for people to judge you. If they're judging you, just know you're not alone, okay?
And guys, if you're always like, oh, I'm always the downer of my group, they're always asking me to go to the parties, eventually I just gotta cave in. It's like, okay, wait, these are your closest friends that are constantly trying to drag you to parties?
That's a good point. Yeah.
Maybe reevaluate who your closest friends are.
It's okay to find new friends if that's what you have to do. Guys, we don't want to be Debbie Downers and be like,
No.
oh, you can't enjoy college. Don't you dare go to party. You better stay in your dorm room 24/7. Like, just know that this is just our opinion.
Yeah.
This is our suggestions. We're just saying be wise. Use the discernment the Lord gave you.
Yeah.
And understand that you might not be as strong as you think you are. So if you start going to these parties, realizing that you're caving in, you're giving in to these things, maybe take a step back and be like, okay, yeah, I need to calm down.
And I remember talking to a guy quite a while ago, and he said one of his convictions was to go to these parties towards the end of the night when he knew these friends of his were going to be drunk, and he'd give them a ride back to their dorm rooms. And that was kind of like his ministry. So once again, if you feel in your heart strongly, like you're using wisdom, using discernment, maybe even running it by another strong Christian, and you're like, I should be going to these parties, or I should be going and picking up the people that get drunk to get them home safely. Whatever that might look like, we're blessing you in that. But really use discernment. And if you suddenly see that, well, I'm starting to compromise, we recommend reevaluating. All right, guys, we want to hear your opinions on partying. Is partying something you do frequently and you feel good about it? Have you decided that parties are not for you? We want to hear your thoughts. Comment below. Give this video a thumbs up if you've watched all 3 episodes of our Christian in College series and if you've enjoyed it.
Get ready for the final surprise next week. We're gonna really have to brainstorm to make it a big one. Or maybe we already have it planned out. Who knows?
Guys, thank you so much for watching. We love you all. Have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll catch you again very soon. Have hope.
And be free!
You should be in a spy movie. Actually, no, I don't want you in a spy movie. Potentially kissing other guys. That will
Okay.
That will not.
Just fighting, crime fighting.
Unless I can be the main spy. But I don't think they would take me with this hair.